Well, I've just finished the first flush of the morning. About to start the second flush, but I delayed this one here because I want to show you. I'm glad I didn't put in a bit of Pauline this season because I want to talk about this. And yeah, so what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29, 30, 32, 33, 36, 37, 38, 40. It starts running at 40, 41, 43, 44, 6, 47, 48, 50, 51, 54, 51, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 60. So it starts running at 40 and takes 62 to 63 to actually fill up. In the past I've done it at 55, filling up at 55, so there's a little bit to show that was on a second run. Okay, now with this one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19. That's about all I can get in there, and I can't get any more in the lip there. And we'll see if it starts running. But it's very slow, so it's not sinking in. Very, very slow to get into that sand. And that's oh, there we go. So is that just, well, it's not flowing in the top, so that, I reckon that's just pushing out the water on the bottom. So basically these two pots, if you assume that the nitrocellulose is a bit like, in structure, like the peat, in a way, in quotes, then basically we've got two pots of 50-50 peat and sand, but separated. In other words, we've got two slants. One slant is your 50% peat and the other slant is your 50% sand, and we just flip the two. So basically the two buckets got the same amount. In other words, basically a bucket of peat and sand that's been separated, a 50-50 bucket of peat and sand separated in two slants, each one inverted. This one takes a lot more water to get going, and it runs for longer. So if it runs for longer, basically that water we put in is coming right through. Now, does the fact that it runs for longer, does it flush the sand better at the bottom? That's question one. 2, this one starts running sooner, even though the water hasn't quite gone down. So is it just forcing the, maybe in quotes, stagnant, semi-anaerobic to anaerobic water at the bottom out of the peat sort of thing, in quotes, newspaper cellulose, slant at the bottom? But of course it has to go through the chalk layer. So yeah, it's a lot to think about. I'm glad I've got to rethink all of this, and what is the double flush all about, you know? So I'm even more eager now to, once it's fully settled in, I'm pretty certain that I've got my run times are consistent, and that I'm going to go down and I'm going to plant some fly traps across the diagonal there between from the thick to the thin, or the thick to the thinge, as the New Zealanders would say. So I'm just going to do this one stopped dripping. Yeah, I think that's do the double flush on this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 20, 21, 23, 25. Yeah, about 25, right? And it's already started to run again, even though as it hasn't settled in. So definitely we've got that sort of idea. It's the pressure pushing things out from the bottom, so it's not actually flowing through the pot. It's some sort of like a dynamic equilibrium. You put some in the top, it comes out the bottom. Some in the top. It's not actually throwing all the way through. Now, if I put some coloured dye in there, the red will be at the top and the blue will be forced out the bottom, but the red wouldn't actually in that time go all the way down to the bottom of the pot. That's what I'm saying. It's not what you think it is. And as I said, I want to know, where did this 50-50 pit and sand idea come out? Who was the originator? Or was it a group of people? Was it an international body? I don't think there wasn't an international body on CPs back then saying, I've had, a lifetime's experience and I've always thought, 50-50 pit and sand was the best sort of thing. I don't know, but that's what I would like to know. So, well, so far, this is still the best. That's just pretty alright, but I think that one might be the winner actually between this one and that one. So, yeah. And this one's really slow to actually, that's still working on its first flush, and this is ready for its second, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm just going to hold this here. So I would like to know, does anyone know the history? How far are we going to have to go back? Do I have to go all the way back to the Eliza Mitchell Society? That has, chats in there with people that have come back from the Civil War talking about fly traps down in Florida, and people mentioning, sort of anecdotal information going back to the 1840s about fly traps. That was just from one journal thing, Do we have someone who's actually read all those articles? Someone who's like me in my childhood, read all the old black and white CPNs. Is there someone in America who's read all the Elijah Mitchell journal, knows them like the back of their hand, and says, oh, I know, fly trap ones, there's only 3 or 4 of them, and they're in these ones spread over this 50-year period or something. We might have some comment in the Elijah Mitchell. I don't know when it started, I'm going to have to look that up. But, there may be a comment in there, dating back even further, I don't know. But the comments about the fly traps in Wilmington, the ones down in Florida, the fact that the ones down in Florida were larger and redder, I think they said, than the ones growing originally around Wilmington in the old days. So, and they said there were thousands down there in Florida, according to one of these Civil War veterans that come back, And, as I said, and the comment for the Wilmington was, someone had mentioned, I think, going back to the 1840s or something. So this is a comment of what the fly traps used to grow like round Wilmington in 1840, I think it was. So, yeah. That's why it's so good to have these sort of things. And as I was saying, because it's so old, it's in a way unbiased. People just making their comments at a meeting all those years ago. What have they got to gain in the 20th century, let alone the 21st century, by skewing their comments or, being spurious about things or anything like that? They don't have to. So anyway, but I don't know if we're going to get some interesting coloration on there. I don't know. Let's just do the spot culling. But still got lots of pitting there on the leaf. I can get around here with the sun. But there we go. Anyway, that should be enough for the time being. But this one really is. Look at that flower stalk. If I can just get the camera around there to get in there on that flower stalk, it's just getting really thick, that one, and the new leaf. And you notice the good ones are getting glossy leaves, like this getting glossy. This one's glossy. So this is glossy, and all the good ones here got glossy leaves. So we've got pitting and glossiness. So we got glossy thing on some of these, which is the basic thing, and then above that you got the pitting. So first you get the glossiness, and then if you got really good growth, you get the pitting, I think. They're somehow related, I don't know. But it's still going on its first flush here, but still got some nice. Look at that first leaf out. It looks quite amazing. Oh, I haven't done these ones from the first flush yet, but look at that one with the iron in there. It just keeps getting better and better and better. So still got to see if I've got any seedlings or anything there. But alive, but okay. But the copper one, yeah. Anyway, I've got to do the copper one for the first one if I can. Eight, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, up 31, 30. Okay, so it starts running at 31, and as you can hear, and then, yeah, this one over the back I've got to do some more water on. 8, 9, 10, 11 on the back. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that will hopefully not go over too much anyway. And fill up this one again. And 10, so it starts running even at 10. So I think that's the water is actually being pushed out. But I'm going to have to rethink the pit of pouring and everything like this and find out what's going on. This one here is quite nice in there. Let's put the camera right in if I can while I'm watering. Twenty-one, 22, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 38, 39, 40. Just when it covers the sand there. So there we go, it's sitting in the sand. But the look is changed. It's lost that sort of darkish green colour. But it's amazing it hasn't gone backwards, so that's a difference. So if you've got something in the sand, they don't go backwards sort of thing. So I'm just going to give this one a bit of a... Well, this one's a difficult one because it's iron, it's different to the others. And this one here too, I've got to do differently, as you do. And this one, just to get it started, it's better. I've sort of had a fly in my mouth. I need to go and refill now, so get my rose, as you do, and put it on there. Okay, and do everything again, but that's about it for the time being. As I said, our ideas about peat and sand are really crazy, so yeah, totally different. Look at that one, that one's still dripping down there, still dripping quite regularly, quite forcefully. This one's totally finished, you know. So it takes longer to go through. Got him. I got the fly. Got him. There you go, got him. Anyway, that's over now. So it gives a whole new meaning and dimension, I think. And so I don't know what we're going to do next year for so-called pit of pooling out the front there. Put some sour fly traps and maybe a cephalotus or something out the front. But we're going to have to master all this first, because it's totally screwed up, fellas. Well, as I said, I think, you know, everything to do with CPs is a little bit bullshit, or has been over the years. So anyway, and apparently I've just spoken to the chap out there, and the house over the road is coming down this month. In a few days' time, they'll start construction. So I think we're the 16th today or the 17th. Anyway, within the week, basically, they'll start demolition on it. So that might be fun to watch and film, but then it might be chaos getting the car out to go down and get fly traps and perps and things like that. So yeah, it may not be the best of days. But anyway, this is quite a long clip, but we'll see how we go. And we're still on spot colour, I believe. But yeah, the difference between things like this, and they're so plastic and they're so temperamental depending on how you do them. So yeah, always best to put them into mature old soil, I think, things that have got greening in them. So, but look at the water there. It's a yellow green. It's sort of, I mean, it shows acidity, which is strange because chalk is not supposed to be acidic, is it? But then again, I think our whole concept about chalk and CPs in general is all, as I said, it's all in the wrong end of my book, you know. So anyway, that's about it for today, and I'll sign off now. Okay, over and out. See ya.